Let's take a look at the aims and objectives of this lesson. The aims are to obtain a deeper literary understanding of Macbeth. Students will be able to answer the Macbeth question in their final exam at the end of the year. Aims are a broad goal and will not be obtained within one lesson. Objectives, however, can be obtained in a short period of time, and objectives are more specific. Like, at the end of this lesson, learners can discuss the main themes of the play. At the end of this lesson, learners can analyze Macbeth as a tragic hero. At the end of this lesson, learners can outline the plot of Act 1, Scene 1 of Macbeth. And at the end of this lesson, students can list the 5 main characters of Act 1, Scene 1 of Macbeth. As you can see in the first slide, I've chosen English, FET Phase Grade 10, English Literature Macbeth. The following slides will show which teacher-directed and learner-centered methods that I've chosen that will help achieve the aims and objectives listed above. Off, let us quickly look at the definition of what a teaching method is in theory. It is a procedure or way of teaching in accordance with a definite plan. This could be anything from lecturing, questioning, or discussing. Let's first look at learner-centered methods. I consider learner-centered methods to be more impactful than teacher-centered methods, but that is just a personal preference. Let's define learner-centered methods. It is related to discovery learning. Learners must explore and learn about the reality of themselves. There are 5 learner-centered methods. I won't be utilizing all 5 of them, but let's take a look at them just for theory. There's discussion, cooperative learning, project, role play, and experimentation. In the next few slides, I will be discussing how my choice of a few of the learner-centered methods will help my lesson plan. Let's take a look at the discussion method. A discussion is a conversation between 2 or more people with a definite purpose. This method needs adequate planning, definite objectives, and gives the opportunity to work with learners to assist them to grasp a topic. They can also discuss a topic without the aid of the teacher. They can discuss a topic amongst their peers and gain different perspectives with regards to the work. I think a discussion method is particularly helpful with regards to English literature, as English literature can be interpreted in many different ways. There isn't one correct answer, there isn't one correct view, and allowing a discussion amongst peers will allow learners to learn different things from different people. In the next slide, I'll be showing you how I would present a discussion method in the classroom via a whiteboard. Granted, this lesson is being presented online over an online forum such as Zoom or Blackboard Collaborate. I will present my screen pointing towards my whiteboard where I've presented the lesson. Macbeth group discussion. They'll divide themselves into groups of 5. Once that is done, I will separate them into separate chat rooms where they'll have 15 minutes to discuss the main themes of the play and Macbeth as a tragic hero. They'll jot down notes and choose one brave group member to present once we're all back in the main chat room. The decision to use 5 group members is an optimal number, as it is not too much and it is not too little. Giving them a time frame of 15 minutes will give them a sense of urgency, as they'll have no time to discuss other matters other than the work. And having one group member to present will give them a sense of autonomy and responsibility, because they have to present their views with the rest of the class. I believe that discussions are a useful tool, especially with English literature, as group members and students will have the opportunity to give their views and learn from each other. The next and the last learner-centered method I will use is role play. Role play is acting out make-believe situations. There are three types of role play, mainly dramatization, simulation games, and sociodrama. For the purpose of my lesson, I would use dramatization. This is when learners read or act out roles from a written script, which is particularly helpful when doing plays such as Macbeth. The advantages are that there's active learner participation and there's interaction. I would send a message via email or WhatsApp asking the students to choose a passage, a short passage between 10 and 20 lines out of Macbeth from a character that they resonate with, such as Lady Macbeth or Macbeth himself. And during the online discussion, each student will have 2 minutes to present their dramatization of the chosen scene. This is helpful as they can interact with the text and interpret it, use stage directions when they present their little role play. After they have presented their mini role play, I will also ask them why they chose the specific piece of writing that they did. Why did it resonate with them? Why do they relate to the character or the scene? This will also allow critical thinking to take place. Let's take a look at teacher-directed methods. These are based on reception learning. Material is presented to the learner in final form. There are various methods, including the telling method, scaffolding, the demonstration method, and questioning. In the following slides, I will tell you which teacher-directed methods I will utilize for this particular lesson. The first method I would utilize is the telling method. This is an oral presentation about a specific topic. It is the most common method, and in schools it is called explanation, and in tertiary institutions it is called lecturing. Abstract content needs concrete examples. So when doing a play such as Macbeth, which is fairly abstract, I would have to utilize a few examples when reading through the text. The following slide will show how I will do that. Before the school would have gone online, I would have handed out the worksheet that you see to your left, Macbeth Act 1 Analysis. Each student would have one of these in their books. During live lessons, I would read the play itself, starting with Act 1. Every time a new character is introduced, I will stop and I'll ask the students to write it down. I will then further explain main characteristics of each character, so on and so forth with themes and stylistic devices. Each time a theme is introduced, I will ask them to write it down and I'll analyze it for them. Because the play is abstract, it does require lots of examples, and this worksheet will help with that. Doing this every lesson will both get through the novel itself as well as the theory, which is why the telling method is ideal here. The next and final teacher-directed method I would use is the questioning method. Let's first define what a questioning technique is. This is the constructive manner in which a question is phrased by the teacher and how they react to a learner's response. There are various types of questioning techniques, such as prompting or pausing. However, being online, this may not work anymore. Students might switch off their mics and avoid answering questions altogether. Typing answers in a chat box might take too long. However, modern problems require modern solutions. The next slide will show a fun and interactive way in which students can answer questions during online presentations. I, as a teacher, will formulate questions based on the prescribed work. Kahoot is a multiple choice game in which the teacher provides the correct answer along with 3 false ones. Students are given a PIN in which they enter online via the Kahoot website. Once random names have been allocated and all students have joined, the game can begin. I, as a teacher, can also pull questions from past examination papers in which students can answer. The questioning method can help achieve the one aim that I've listed in the second slide, which is students will be able to answer the Macbeth question in their final examination. This is a fun way and it promotes healthy competition among students when answering the questions.